2025 official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 1. Questions 1 to 15. U.S. Citizenship. The library's high shelves and the soft rustle of turning pages create a calm atmosphere. Sunlight filters through tall windows, illuminating a wooden table where Anne and Mark sit surrounded by Civics study guides.
All right, Mark, we'll work through the first 15 questions today. I'll give you 3 choices for each. Pick one, and then I'll explain why it's correct. Ready?
Ready, Anne.
Question 1. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? A. 435. B. 350. C. 100.
I think the answer is A. 435.
That's correct. There are 435 voting members in the House, apportioned among the states based on population. This number has been fixed since 1911 to maintain balanced representation. Question 2. Name one right only for United States citizens. A. Freedom of speech. B. To vote in a federal election. C. Serve in the military.
I think the answer is B. To vote in a federal election.
Exactly. Only U.S. citizens may vote in federal elections, while others might live and work here. Casting ballots in national races is reserved for those who have taken the oath of citizenship. Question 3. What does the Constitution do? A. Defines citizens' rights. B. Limits freedom of speech. C. Sets up the government.
I think the answer is C. Sets up the government.
Correct. The Constitution establishes the 3 branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, and outlines their powers and interactions. It's the blueprint for our federal system. Question 4. Why does the flag have 50 stars? A. Because there are 50 states. B. Because there were 50 original colonies. C. Because the flag was designed in 1950.
I think the answer is A. Because there are 50 states.
Right. Each star represents a state in the Union. As states joined, stars were added. The current design with 50 stars has been in use since 1960. Question 5. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. A. Viking. B. Crow. C. Samurai.
I think the answer is B. Crow.
Exactly. The Crow are a recognized tribe originally from the Great Plains. Remember, Vikings and samurai are not indigenous to North America. Question 6. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? A. Wrote the Declaration of Independence. B. Led the American Revolution. C. Freed the slaves.
I think the answer is C. Freed the slaves.
Correct. Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, calling for freedom of slaves in Confederate states, an essential step toward abolition. Question 7. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? A. John Roberts. B. Clarence Thomas. C. Sonia Sotomayor.
I think the answer is A. John Roberts.
Yes, Chief Justice John Roberts leads the Supreme Court, overseeing its proceedings and administration of the federal judiciary. Question 8. How many U.S. senators are there? A. 50. B. 100. C. 435.
I think the answer is B. 100.
That's right. 2 senators per state, totaling 100, regardless of a state's population. Question 9. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? A. Mike Johnson. B. Nancy Pelosi. C. Kevin McCarthy.
I think the answer is A. Mike Johnson.
Correct. As Speaker, Mike Johnson presides over the House and directs its legislative agenda. Question 10. What major event happened on September 11, 2001 in the United States? A. The first moon landing. B. The end of World War II. C. Terrorist attacks on the United States.
I think the answer is C. Terrorist attacks on the United States.
Exactly. Al-Qaeda-linked terrorists hijacked planes and struck the World Trade Center and Pentagon, profoundly affecting national security policies. Question 11. What is the capital of the United States? A. Washington, D.C. B. New York City. C. Los Angeles.
I think the answer is A. Washington, D.C.
Correct. Washington, D.C. was founded as the federal capital in 1790 and is not part of any state. Question 12. Who was the first president? A. Thomas Jefferson. B. George Washington. C. Abraham Lincoln.
I think the answer is B. George Washington.
Yes, the father of our country and commander of the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. Question 13. What are 2 ways that Americans can participate in their democracy? A. Driving a car. B. Paying taxes. C. Vote or run for office.
I think the answer is C. Vote or run for office.
Exactly. Casting a ballot and standing for election are direct ways to shape government. Question 14. Who was the commander-in-chief of the military? A. The Speaker of the House. B. The President. C. The Secretary of Defense.
I think the answer is B. The President.
Correct. The Constitution names the President as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Question 15. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? A. He was a U.S. diplomat. B. He wrote the Constitution. C. He was the first Supreme Court Justice.
I think the answer is A. He was a U.S. diplomat.
Right. Franklin's diplomacy in France was crucial to securing support during the Revolution.
That was a great warm-up. I feel more confident already.
I'm glad. Now, let's talk about some effective methods for preparing for the U.S. citizenship test.
I found flashcards really helpful for memorizing dates and names.
Flashcards are excellent. I also recommend timed practice tests in the library. Simulate the real pace you'll face at the interview.
Group study can be useful too. Explaining answers to others helps me remember the details.
Absolutely. Teaching each other reinforces understanding. And don't forget to read up on current officials right before your interview. Names like Speaker or Chief Justice can change.
Good point. I'll check the official government websites weekly.
Finally, discuss what you learn out loud, just like we do here. Talking through the questions builds confidence.
Thanks, Anne. With these methods, I feel ready to keep practicing and eventually ace the test.
You're doing fantastic, Mark. Keep it up, and you'll be well prepared for your citizenship interview.
The two pack up their notes. The hush of the library, punctuated only by their steady determination to master every question. 2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 2. Questions 16 to 30. U.S. Citizenship. The afternoon light slants between the shelves, illuminating the dusty spines of history books. Anne and Mark return to their table, notebooks open and pencils at the ready.
Let's tackle questions 16 through 30 with deeper explanations today. Remember, 3 choices, your pick, then I'll unpack why it's right and why the others aren't.
Sounds great. Let's dive in.
Question 16. What is the rule of law? A. Everyone must follow the law. B. Officials make the laws. C. Laws can change arbitrarily.
I choose A. Everyone must follow the law.
Correct. The rule of law means that laws apply equally to all individuals, citizens, politicians, even the president, ensuring accountability and preventing arbitrary governance. Choice B is wrong because while officials draft laws, they themselves are also subject to those laws. Choice C conflicts with stability. Under the rule of law, changes require formal processes, not whimsy. Question 17. When do we celebrate Independence Day? A. July 7th. B. July 4th. C. December 25th.
I pick B. July 4th.
Exactly. On July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. July 7th has no national significance, and December 25th is Christmas. Our National Archives display the original 1776 document highlighting that date. Question 18. What is freedom of religion? A. Everyone must practice a religion. B. The government picks the religion. C. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion.
I'll go with C. You can practice any religion or not practice a religion.
Right. The First Amendment prohibits Congress from establishing a state religion or restricting free exercise thereof. Choices A and B directly contradict this. They'd violate the very principle of non-establishment and individual conscience protected in landmark cases like Engel versus Vitale. Question 19. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. A. The Civil War. B. World War I. C. The Spanish-American War.
My answer is A. The Civil War.
Correct. Fought from 1861 to 1865 over issues including states' rights and slavery, it remains the deadliest conflict on American soil. World War I and the Spanish-American War involved international combat, different contexts entirely. Question 20. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? A. Led the Civil War. B. Fought for civil rights. C. Wrote the Emancipation Proclamation.
I choose B. Fought for civil rights.
Exactly. Dr. King organized nonviolent protests like the Montgomery bus boycott and delivered the I Have a Dream speech in 1963, driving passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. He didn't lead the Civil War, that was Lincoln, nor did he draft the Emancipation Proclamation. Question 21. In what month do we vote for president? A. November's. B. October. C. January.
It's A. November.
Right. By federal law, Election Day falls on the Tuesday after the first Monday in November every 4 years. October and January hold no presidential elections. January inaugurates the president. Question 22. What is the capital of your state? A. Austin. B. Sacramento. C. Provide the capital where you live.
I'll say C. Provide the capital where you live. For me, that's Columbus.
Good. Each applicant must name their own state capital. Texas's is Austin, California's is Sacramento, but you correctly named yours. Question 23. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? A. Atlantic Ocean. B. Pacific Ocean. C. Indian Ocean.
That must be B. Pacific Ocean.
Correct. The Pacific spans from California up through Alaska. The Atlantic lies east, and the Indian Ocean is thousands of miles away. Question 24. What did Susan B. Anthony do? A. Founded the Red Cross. B. Fought for women's rights. C. Was a leading jazz musician.
I pick B. Fought for women's rights.
Right. Anthony co-founded the National Woman Suffrage Association in 1869 and tirelessly campaigned for the 19th Amendment in 1920. She wasn't involved with the Red Cross, that was Clara Barton, nor was she a musician. Question 25. What are the two parts of the United States Congress? A. The Senate and the House of Representatives. B. The White House and the Capitol. C. Congress and the Governor.
The answer is A. The Senate and the House of Representatives.
Exactly. Under Article 1 of the Constitution, Congress is bicameral, the Senate 2 per state, and the House population-based. Choices B and C mix branches or levels of government incorrectly. Question 26. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? A. The flag. B. The national anthem. C. The United States.
I choose C. The United States.
Correct. The pledge states, "I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God." Our loyalty is to the nation and its principles, not merely the fabric of the flag or the song. Question 27. What is an amendment? A. A new state is added. B. A change to the Constitution. C. A law passed by Congress.
It's B. A change to the Constitution.
Right. Amendments alter or add to the Constitution's text. Passing a law, C, happens under normal legislative procedures, and adding a state, A, is separate under Article 4, not called an amendment. Question 28. How old do citizens have to be to vote for president? A, 18 years and older. B, 21 years and older. C, 16 years and older.
The answer is A, 18 years and older.
Correct. The 26th Amendment, 1971, lowered the voting age from 21 to 18. Prior to that, some states had varying rules, but now 18 is uniform. Question 29. There are 4 amendments to the Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. A. Only men can vote. B. Citizens must be 18. C. Any citizen can vote.
I'll say C. Any citizen can vote.
Good. The 14th Amendment guaranteed equal protection, the 15th banned voting discrimination by race, the 19th gave women the vote, and the 26th set age at 18. Each expands suffrage so that any citizen may vote. Question 30. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? A. J.D. Vance. B. Kamala Harris. C. Nancy Pelosi.
I choose A. J.D. Vance.
Correct. Since January 20th, 2025, J.D. Vance holds that office. Kamala Harris served under the previous administration, and Nancy Pelosi has never been VP. She's been Speaker of the House.
Those deeper insights really help me connect facts to history and law.
Exactly. By understanding the why behind each answer, constitutional clauses, landmark dates, you'll retain information far longer than rote memorization.
For the next session, I'll create a timeline linking each amendment and historical figure.
Excellent. And don't forget to annotate your flashcards with brief legal excerpts or images. Visual cues stick better.
Thanks, Anne. With these detailed explanations and strategies, I feel ready to conquer the rest of the questions.
You're well on your way, Mark. Let's grab some coffee before questions 31 to 45.
2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 3. Questions 31 to 45. U.S. Citizenship. Late afternoon light filters through the tall windows as Anne and Mark return to their table, refreshed after their coffee break. Their notebooks lie open, ready for the next 15 questions.
Time for questions 31 through 45. Same drill, 3 options each, you pick one, then I'll explain in detail why it's correct and why the others aren't.
Let's do it.
Question 31. Name one U.S. territory. A. Guam. B. Puerto Rico. C. The Philippines.
I'll go with B. Puerto Rico.
Correct. Puerto Rico is an unincorporated U.S. territory in the Caribbean. Guam, A, is also a territory, but the Philippines, C, became independent in 1946, so it's no longer under U.S. jurisdiction. Question 32. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? A. Pacific Ocean. B. Atlantic Ocean. C. Arctic Ocean.
I'll go with B. Atlantic Ocean.
Exactly. The Atlantic borders states from Maine down to Florida. The Pacific, A, lies on the west coast, and the Arctic, C, touches only Alaska's northern shore. Question 33. Who is in charge of the executive branch? A. Congress. B. The President. C. The Supreme Court.
I'll go with B. The President.
Right. Article 2 of the Constitution vests executive power in the President, who enforces federal laws. Congress, A, makes the laws, and the Supreme Court, C, interprets them. Question 34. If the President can no longer serve, who becomes President? A, the Vice President. B, the Secretary of State. C, the Speaker of the House.
I'll go with A, the Vice President.
Correct. Under the Presidential Succession Act, the Vice President assumes the presidency. If the VP could not serve, next in line would be the Speaker, C, not the Secretary of State, B. Question 35. Name one branch or part of the government. A, the President. B, the Judicial Branch. C, the Post Office.
I'll say A, the President.
Good. The President is part of the executive branch, which is one of the three branches of government. The judicial branch, B, is also correct if you'd chosen it. The post office, C, is an agency, not a branch. Question 36. Who makes federal laws? A, the President. B, Congress. C, the Supreme Court.
I'll go with B, Congress.
Exactly. Article 1 grants legislative power to Congress. The President, A, can sign or veto, and the Supreme Court, C, can strike down laws, but neither makes them. Question 37. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? A, Alaska. B, Louisiana. C, Hawaii.
I'll go with B, Louisiana.
Right. The Louisiana Purchase doubled U.S. size. Alaska, A, was bought from Russia in 1867. Hawaii, C, was annexed in 1898. Question 38. How many amendments does the Constitution have? A, 27. B, 33. C, 26.
I'll go with A, 27.
Correct. There were 10 original Bill of Rights amendments plus 17 more added over time. 26C is the number of amendments when the voting age was lowered, but today there are 27 total. Question 39. What is the political party of the president now? A, Democrat. B, Republican. C, Independent.
I'll go with B, Republican.
Yes, the sitting president is a member of the Republican Party. He isn't a Democrat, A, or independent, C. Question 40. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? A. African Americans. B. Native Americans. C. Asian Americans.
I'll go with B. Native Americans.
Exactly. Indigenous peoples inhabited the continent for thousands of years. African Americans, A, and Asian Americans, C, arrived later. Question 41. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? A. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. B. To vote in a federal election, to run for office. C. To serve on a jury, to pay taxes.
I'll go with A. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
Correct. First Amendment rights apply to all persons on U.S. soil. Voting, B, is reserved for citizens. Paying taxes, C, is an obligation, not a right. Question 42. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? A, because they have more land. B, because they have more people. C, because they're more historic.
I'll go with B, because they have more people.
Right. House seats are apportioned by population after each decennial census. Land area, A, and historical status, C, don't affect representation. Question 43. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? A. Dianne Feinstein. B. Chuck Schumer. C. Provide one of your state's U.S. senators.
I'll choose C. One of my state's U.S. senators is Sherrod Brown.
Good. Each applicant must name a current senator from their own state. Feinstein, A, and Schumer, B, represent California and New York respectively, so only C lets you give your state's senator. Question 44. What are two cabinet-level positions? A. Attorney General, Vice President. B. Secretary of Education, Supreme Court Justice. C. Governor, Mayor.
I'll go with A. Attorney General, Vice President.
Correct. The Vice President and the Attorney General head executive departments. A Supreme Court Justice, B, is judicial, and Governor, Mayor, C, are state-local roles. Question 45. What is the name of the national anthem? A. God Bless America. B. The Star-Spangled Banner. C. America the Beautiful.
I'll go with B. The Star-Spangled Banner.
Right. Francis Scott Key wrote the lyrics in 1814. It became our official anthem in 1931. God Bless America, A, and America the Beautiful, C, are patriotic songs, but not the anthem.
That was intense but illuminating. I love seeing how these themes connect.
You've now covered 45 questions, all the basics of geography, government structure, rights, and history.
What's next?
For our next session, let's use interactive flowcharts to map government branches and flashcard recordings for historical dates. We'll also quiz each other on state-specific facts and do a mock interview focusing on personal history questions.
Perfect. With these methods, I feel I'll master the remaining questions in no time.
Exactly. Keep practicing in this library setting, quiet, focused, and surrounded by resources. We'll tackle 46 to 60 soon.
They pack their notes, already planning the tools and techniques that will carry them toward citizenship success. 2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 4. Questions 46 to 60. U.S. Citizenship. The warm glow of the library's evening lamps casts a soft light over Anne and Mark's table. Their notebooks lie open beside half-drunk cups of coffee as they prepare to tackle questions 46 to 60.
Ready for the next 15, Mark. 3 options each. Then I'll explain not just the right answer, but the deeper context and why the others don't fit.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Question 46. Name 2 national U.S. holidays. A. New Year's Day, Christmas. B. Independence Day, Thanksgiving. C. Memorial Day, Labor Day.
I'll go with A. New Year's Day, Christmas.
Correct. Both are federal holidays codified by Congress, celebrated nationwide on January 1st and December 25th. Choices B and C list other federal holidays, but the question asks for 2, and our test key lists New Year's Day and Christmas specifically. Question 47. What does the President's Cabinet do? A. Advises the President. B. Enforces Congress's decisions. C. Declares war.
I'll go with A. Advises the President.
Exactly. Cabinet members are heads of executive departments who counsel the president on policy and administration. They don't pass laws, that's Congress's role, nor declare war, a power shared by Congress and the president under the Constitution. Question 48. Who did the United States fight in World War II? A. Japan, Germany, Italy. B. Russia, France, China. C. Spain, Portugal, Netherlands.
I'll go with A. Japan, Germany, Italy.
Right. Those 3 formed the Axis powers. The U.S. opposed them from 1941 to 1945. Option B lists some allies. Option C names neutral or non-combatant nations. Question 49. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? A. The Speaker of the House. B. The Secretary of State. C. The President pro tempore of the Senate.
I'll go with A. The Speaker of the House.
Correct. Under the Presidential Succession Act, after the Vice President, the Speaker is next. Cabinet officers, including the Secretary of State and the Senate pro tempore, follow later. Question 50. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? A. Freed the slaves. B. Ended the Civil War. C. Gave women the right to vote.
I'll go with A. Freed the slaves.
Precisely. Issued by Lincoln in 1863, it declared enslaved people in rebellious Confederate states forever free. It did not end the war that ended in 1865, nor grant women suffrage that came with the 19th Amendment. Question 51. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? A. The Constitution was written. B. The Declaration of Independence was signed. C. The Bill of Rights was added.
I'll go with A. The Constitution was written.
Yes, in Philadelphia, 1787 delegates drafted the U.S. Constitution. The Declaration dates to 1776, and the Bill of Rights was ratified later in 1791. Question 52. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? A. Communism. B. Monarchy. C. Climate change.
I'll go with A. Communism.
Exactly. From 1947 to 1991, U.S. foreign policy centered on containing Soviet communism. Monarchies had long since faded in influence, and climate change wasn't on the policy agenda yet. Question 53. Who signs bills to become laws? A. The President. B. The Supreme Court. C. Congress.
I'll go with A. The President.
Right. After both House and Senate pass a bill, it goes to the President for signature or veto. Congress drafts and votes. The Supreme Court interprets laws. It doesn't sign them. Question 54. Who vetoes bills? A. The President. B. The Vice President. C. The Chief Justice.
I'll go with A. The President.
Correct. Only the President has veto power. The Vice President presides over the Senate but cannot veto legislation. The Chief Justice heads the judicial branch. Question 55. What is the economic system in the United States? A. Market economy. B. Command economy. C. Traditional economy.
I'll go with A. Market economy.
Exactly. In a market economy, supply and demand determine prices and production. Command economies are centrally planned, and traditional economies rely on customs. Neither describes the U.S. Question 56. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? A. To be loyal to the United States. B. To vote in every election. C. To join a political party.
I'll go with A. To be loyal to the United States.
Right. The oath of allegiance requires support for and defense of the Constitution. Voting and party membership are voluntary civic responsibilities, not oath requirements. Question 57. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? A. Africans. B. Europeans. C. Native Americans.
I'll go with A. Africans.
Correct. From the 16th to 19th centuries, millions of Africans were forcibly transported and enslaved. Europeans largely immigrated voluntarily. Some Native Americans were enslaved locally, but not on the scale of the transatlantic trade. Question 58. We elect a president for how many years? A. 4. B. 2. C. 6.
I'll go with A. 4.
Exactly. The president serves a 4-year term. House members serve 2 years. Senators serve 6. Question 59. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? A. World War II. B. World War I. C. The Korean War.
I'll go with A. World War II.
Correct. As Supreme Allied Commander, he planned D-Day. He was too young for World War I and served in different capacities by the time of Korea. Question 60. Who was president during World War I? A. Woodrow Wilson. B. Franklin D. Roosevelt. C. Harry S. Truman.
I'll go with A. Woodrow Wilson.
Right. Wilson led the nation from 1913 to 1921, including through World War I and the Treaty of Versailles. FDR and Truman served during and after World War II.
That was great. These deep dives into each answer really connect the facts to the historical and constitutional context.
You've now mastered 60 questions covering holidays, succession, landmark events, and civic structures. Next session, let's build a comprehensive timeline of wars and amendments, do role-play interviews for personal questions, and record mock oral exams to polish your speaking.
Perfect. With these strategies in this quiet library, I'm confident I'll nail the remaining questions and my interview.
They gather their materials, the library's soft hush carrying them one step closer to U.S. citizenship. 2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 5. Questions 61 to 75. U.S. citizenship. The library's reading lamps glow warmly as dusk settles outside. Anne and Mark return to their table, determined to master the final quarter of the citizenship questions. Their notebooks lie open, pens at the ready.
Ready for questions 61 through 75. Mark, 3 choices each. Pick one, and then I'll dive into why it's right and why the others miss the mark.
Let's do it.
Question 61. What are 2 rights in the Declaration of Independence? A. Life, liberty. B. Pursuit of happiness, right to bear arms. C. Free speech, freedom of religion.
I'll go with A. Life, liberty.
Correct. The Declaration famously proclaims that all men are created equal with unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Option B mixes one core right with a later constitutional right. Option C lists First Amendment freedoms, not Declaration guarantees. Question 62. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? A. 2 years. B. 4 years. C. 6 years.
I'll go with A. 2 years.
Right. House members serve 2-year terms, ensuring frequent accountability to constituents. Senators serve 6 years, C, and the President serves 4, B. Question 63. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? A. Franklin Roosevelt. B. Herbert Hoover. C. Woodrow Wilson.
I'll go with A. Franklin Roosevelt.
Exactly. FDR led from 1933 to 1945, implementing New Deal programs during the Depression and guiding the U.S. through most of World War II. Hoover, B., preceded him in the Depression. Wilson, C., led during World War I. Question 64. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? A. Speech. B. Trial by jury. C. Vote in elections.
I'll go with A. Speech.
Correct. The First Amendment protects freedoms of speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. Jury trials, B, and voting, C, are crucial rights but covered elsewhere in the Constitution and amendments. Question 65. Who is the father of our country? A. George Washington. B. Thomas Jefferson. C. John Adams.
I'll go with A. George Washington.
Yes. As commander of the Continental Army and presiding officer at the Constitutional Convention, Washington earned that title. Jefferson, B., penned the Declaration. Adams, C., served as the second president. Question 66. When must all men register for the Selective Service? A. At age 18. B. At age 21. C. At age 16.
I'll go with A. At age 18.
Right. U.S. law requires male citizens and immigrants to register within 30 days of turning 18. Ages 16, C, and 21, B, are outside that requirement window. Question 67. When was the Constitution written? A. 1787. B. 1776. C. 1791.
I'll go with A. 1787.
Correct. Delegates drafted it during the Philadelphia Convention in 1787. The Declaration dates to 1776. B. The Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, was ratified in 1791. C. Question 68. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? A. Checks and balances. B. Federalism. C. Separation of powers.
I'll go with A. Checks and balances.
Exactly. While separation of powers, C, divides functions among branches, checks and balances ensures each branch can limit the others, like the president's veto or the court's judicial review. Federalism, B, divides power between federal and state governments. Question 69. There were originally 13 states, name 3. A. New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire. B. California, Texas, Florida. C. Nevada, Oregon, Utah.
I'll go with A. New York, New Jersey, New Hampshire.
Right. Those 3 were among the original colonies turned states in 1787 to 90. Options B and C list states admitted much later, well after the original 13. Question 70. Name one state that borders Canada. A. New York. B. Florida. C. Nevada.
I'll go with A. New York.
Correct. New York's northern border meets Ontario and Quebec. Florida, B, borders the Atlantic and Gulf. Nevada, C, borders California, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and Arizona. None touch Canada. Question 71. Why did the colonists fight the British? A. Because of high taxes. B. Because they wanted a king. C. Because of extreme winters.
I'll go with A. Because of high taxes.
Exactly. No taxation without representation fueled resistance to British-imposed duties. They didn't seek monarchy, B, or rebel over weather, C. Question 72. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? A. Thomas Jefferson. B. Benjamin Franklin. C. John Adams.
I'll go with A. Thomas Jefferson.
Correct. Jefferson was the principal author, with Franklin and Adams reviewing. Franklin, B, and Adams, C, were influential delegates, but not the primary drafter. Question 73. Name one state that borders Mexico. A. California. B. Oregon. C. Colorado.
I'll go with A. California.
Right. California shares a 140-mile border with Baja California. Oregon, B, borders Canada. Colorado, C, is landlocked inland. Question 74. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? A, because there were originally 13 colonies. B, because it was designed in 1813. C, because it stands for 13 original amendments.
I'll go with A, because there were originally 13 colonies.
Exactly. 7 red and 6 white stripes honor the first colonies. The design predates 1813, B, and the stripes honor colonies, not amendments, C. Question 75. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? A, to give a driver's license. B, to declare war. C, to print money.
I'll go with A, to give a driver's license.
Correct. States regulate driving privileges and issue licenses. Declaring war, B, and printing money, C, are federal powers under Article 1.
75 questions down. These explanations really root each fact in history and law.
You've covered core rights, government structure, key events, and state versus federal powers. For our next session, questions 76 to 90, we'll create a group debate on civic topics and use flashcard apps for rapid recall. Then we'll finish with a mock oral interview to simulate the real test.
Perfect. With these methods in this quiet, resource-rich setting, I'm confident we'll complete the full 100 questions, and I'll be ready for my citizenship interview.
They pack up their notes as the library's evening calm surrounds them. One more step toward American citizenship. 2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version. Part 6. Questions 76 to 90. U.S. Citizenship. The library's lamp-lit tables glow as evening deepens. Anne and Mark settle in, surrounded by stacks of history and civics books, ready to master questions 76 to 90 with clear, in-depth explanations.
We're tackling key dates, foundational phrases, and civic structures tonight. Questions 76 through 90. 3 options each. You pick one, then I'll explain why it's right and why the others don't work.
Perfect. Let's get started.
Question 76. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? A. April 15th. B. March 15th. C. June 15th.
I'll go with A. April 15th.
Correct. By law, most individual taxpayers must file by April 15th each year or the next business day if it falls on a weekend or holiday. March 15th is the deadline for many business returns, S corporations, and partnerships, while June 15th applies only to U.S. citizens living abroad who request an extension. Question 77. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these words? A. We the people. B. We the states. C. We the government.
I'll go with A. We the people.
Exactly. The preamble begins, "We the people of the United States," to underscore that ultimate authority rests with citizens themselves. We the states would imply power derives from the states, and we the government would contradict the whole principle of popular sovereignty established by the framers. Question 78. What is the supreme law of the land? A. The Constitution. B. The Declaration of Independence. C. Federal law.
I'll go with A. The Constitution.
Right. Article 6, a supremacy clause, declares the Constitution above all other laws, including federal statutes, state laws, and international treaties. The Declaration of Independence is a historic proclamation, not a governing document. Question 79. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? A. July 4th, 1776. B. July 4th, 1787. C. December 25th, 1776.
I'll go with A. July 4th, 1776.
Correct. That's when a Continental Congress formally approved the Declaration. In contrast, 1787 marks the Constitutional Convention, and December 25th has no relation to our founding documents. Question 80. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. A. The Civil War. B. World War I. C. Vietnam War.
I'll go with A. The Civil War.
Exactly. Fought from 1861 to 1865, it was the deadliest conflict on American soil. World War I and the Vietnam War were 20th century conflicts, well after the 1800s. Question 81. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? A. The Bill of Rights. B. The Federalist Papers. C. The Articles of Confederation.
I'll go with A. The Bill of Rights.
Correct. Ratified in 1791, these amendments guarantee fundamental freedoms, speech, religion, due process, and more. The Federalist Papers are advocacy essays for ratification, and the Articles of Confederation were America's first, weaker national framework. Question 82. What did the Declaration of Independence do? A. Announced our independence from Great Britain. B. Ended the Revolutionary War. C. Created the Constitution.
I'll go with A. Announced our independence from Great Britain.
Right. It declared the 13 colonies free and independent states. The war itself ended in 1783 with the Treaty of Paris, and the Constitution was drafted later in 1787. Question 83. What is the name of the President of the United States now? A. Donald Trump. B. Joe Biden. C. Barack Obama.
I'll go with A. Donald Trump.
According to our study transcript, yes, Donald Trump. For your real test, always name the current president on the day of your interview. Officials can change with elections. Question 84. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. A. Mississippi River. B. Amazon River. C. Colorado River.
I'll go with A. Mississippi River.
Correct. The Mississippi and Missouri rivers are the two longest in the U.S. The Amazon is the world's longest, but it flows through South America, and the Colorado is much shorter. Question 85. What is one reason colonists came to America? A. Freedom. B. To find gold. C. To escape heat.
I'll go with A. Freedom.
Exactly. Many sought religious and political liberty denied under British rule. Some came for economic reasons, gold or land, but freedom captures the colonists' core motivation better than climate concerns. Question 86. What is the highest court in the United States? A. The Supreme Court. B. The Court of Appeals. C. The District Court.
I'll go with A. The Supreme Court.
Right. It has final appellate jurisdiction over all federal and state cases involving federal law or constitutional questions. The courts of appeals and district courts are lower levels in the federal judiciary. Question 87. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? A. To print money. B. To issue driver's licenses. C. To establish schools.
I'll go with A. To print money.
Correct. Article 1 empowers Congress to coin money and regulate its value. States handle driver's licenses and public education under their reserved powers. Question 88. We elect a U.S. Senator for how many years? A. 6. B. 2. C. 4.
I'll go with A. 6.
Exactly. Senators serve 6-year terms with staggered elections so that approximately 1/3 of seats are up every 2 years. Question 89. Where is the Statue of Liberty? A. New York Harbor. B. San Francisco Bay. C. Chesapeake Bay.
I'll go with A. New York Harbor.
Correct. It stands on Liberty Island, welcoming ships into New York Harbor, while San Francisco and Chesapeake Bay have famous landmarks. Neither hosts Lady Liberty. Question 90. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. A. World War II. B. The Revolutionary War. C. War of 1812.
I'll go with A. World War II.
Right. From 1941 to 1945, the U.S. fought the Axis powers in World War II. The Revolutionary War and War of 1812 occurred in the 18th and early 19th centuries, respectively.
These detailed explanations really tie each fact to its historical and legal roots.
You've completed 90 questions with clarity on dates, documents, and civic principles. Next time, questions 91 to 100. We'll use interactive drills and a full mock oral interview to finalize your preparation.
I'm ready. With this clear approach in our library sessions, I'll walk into the exam fully confident.
They pack up, the library's quiet determination carrying them toward the final stretch of their citizenship journey. 2025 Official USCIS 100 Civics Questions 2008 version, Part 7. Questions 91 to 100, U.S. Citizenship. The library is quiet now, its closing hour drawing near. Anne and Mark share a final table lamp as they work through questions 91 to 100, the last stretch of their citizenship study.
Question 91. Name your U.S. representative. A. John Doe. B. Jane Smith. C. Provide the name of your U.S. representative.
I'll go with C. Provide the name of your U.S. representative.
Correct. During your interview, you must state the actual representative for your district. For example, my U.S. representative is Maria Lopez. Answers A and B are generic placeholders and would not satisfy the officer since they are not your real, current representative. Question 92. What does the judicial branch do? A. Reviews laws. B. Enforces laws. C. Writes laws.
I'll go with A. Reviews laws.
Exactly. The judicial branch, the Supreme Court, and lower federal courts interprets federal laws and reviews their constitutionality. Choice B describes the executive branch, which enforces laws, and C describes the legislative branch, which drafts and passes laws. Question 93. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. A. Slavery. B. High taxes. C. Lack of railroads.
I'll go with A. Slavery.
Right. The institution of slavery and conflicts over its expansion into new territories were central causes of the Civil War. High taxes, B, and transportation issues, C, were not driving factors in the sectional divide that sparked the war. Question 94. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? A. 9. B. 7. C. 5.
I'll go with A. 9.
Correct. Since 1869, the Supreme Court has been composed of 9 justices, 1 Chief Justice, and 8 Associate Justices. While Congress could change the number, no official count has ever been 7, B, or 5, C, in our modern era. Question 95. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. A. John Jay. B. Thomas Paine. C. Patrick Henry.
I'll go with A. John Jay.
Exactly. John Jay, Alexander Hamilton, and James Madison penned those essays under the pseudonym Publius. Thomas Paine, B., wrote Common Sense, and Patrick Henry, C., was an anti-federalist critic, not an author of the Federalist Papers. Question 96. What are the two major political parties in the United States? A. Democratic Republican. B. Libertarian Green. C. Federalist Whig.
I'll go with A. Democratic Republican.
Correct. Today's two dominant parties are the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The Libertarian and Green parties, B, are smaller third parties, and Federalist Whig, C, were parties of early U.S. history long since dissolved. Question 97. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? A. The Civil Rights Movement. B. The Temperance Movement. C. The Abolition Movement.
I'll go with A. The Civil Rights Movement.
Right. In the 1950s and 1960s, activists like Martin Luther King Jr. led efforts to secure equal rights under the law for African Americans. The temperance movement, B, sought to curb alcohol consumption, and the abolition movement, C, aimed to end slavery before the Civil War. Question 98. Who is the governor of your state now? A. Provide the name of your governor. B. Gavin Newsom. C. Brian Kemp.
I'll go with A. Provide the name of your governor. For example, my governor is Gretchen Whitmer.
Exactly. You must name the current governor where you live. Options B and C reference California's and Georgia's governors. Only your actual governor counts. Question 99. What is one responsibility that is only for United States citizens? A. Vote in a federal election. B. Pay taxes. C. Serve on a jury.
I'll go with A. Vote in a federal election.
Correct. Only citizens may vote in federal elections. Paying taxes, B, applies to many residents, and while jury service, C, is also typically reserved for citizens, the official USCIS answer highlights voting as the key citizen-only responsibility. Question 100. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? A. All of the state. B. All of Congress. C. Only their district.
I'll go with A. All of the state.
Right. Each senator represents every person in their state, not just a district. Option B is incorrect. Senators don't represent Congress. They are members of it. And option C describes House members, not senators.
We've covered all 100 questions. I feel ready. But what should I do after the actual interview to keep improving?
Great question. Let's talk about how to self-evaluate after your citizenship interview. Reflect immediately. As soon as you leave, jot down which questions you felt unsure about and why. Capture both content gaps and any nerves that affected your answers. Review your notes. Compare your written reflections with the official study guide. Identify any facts you missed or muddled, and update your flashcards or practice logs accordingly. Assess delivery. Think about your tone, pace, and clarity. If you stumbled on phrasing, practice speaking your answers aloud until they flow naturally. Seek feedback. If possible, ask a friend or mentor to conduct a mock interview and provide constructive criticism on both accuracy and confidence. Analyze stress points. Note any moments of anxiety. Perhaps specific topics triggered hesitation. Devote extra review time to those areas to build comfort. Plan follow-up practice. Schedule short, focused sessions on weak points. Remind yourself of what you know and trust that confidence in the interview carries weight.
Those steps make sense. I'll draft my reflections tonight and set up a final mock interview with you.
Perfect. With thoughtful self-evaluation and targeted practice, you'll turn every interview experience into growth, ensuring success on test day and beyond.
They pack up their materials at last, the library quiet around them, ready for the final challenge of their citizenship journey.